Well, seems as if Samantha Irvin decided to leave WWE, and I have a little bit more intel. But before we even get into that, I just want to speak on a few things very briefly. This episode is sponsored by me, WWE. Please sign Anna J. As soon as the opportunity allows itself, grab Anna J. Grab Anna J. Grab and sign Anna J. Send her NXT, 2 years, bring her up. Unless she vastly catches on to the system. Pretty, tall, very talented, doesn't really show everything that she can do within the competition that you guys are up against. Sign Anna J. As I had predicted in the prior post, the Bloodline storyline is pretty much leading into what I thought it would be. And thus, I am actually glad that I held off. I wanted to wait until SmackDown. I mean, I had a lot of things that have been tying me up, but I wanted to wait to SmackDown before I make this commentary. I was not expecting the tag titles to switch hands because I kind of forgot that whole part of it. Anyhow, I wanted to make a quick mention. WWE, you guys kind of fucked up. Look, you guys are making billions upon billions as I'm speaking in your sleep, billions of dollars. And I did see some article about the team that you have, the music production team that you have. I didn't read the whole thing, but something about that they won't be switching them out. But that's neither here nor there. Actually, kind of is. I think it was a very horrible idea in this new era of WWE that we're entering. I think it was a horrible idea to not keep the Motor City Machine Guns original music, especially on their debut last week. Had that fucking band, had that kicked after those machine guns, and then their music kicked. Oh my gosh. And this new music sucks. This new era, man, because you guys are making crazy money. You're already making crazy money, but you're going to make more money. Loosen up the straps a little bit with this music. I'm sure that they did not negotiate to have their music, or if they tried to, I don't know what happened. I know Cody did. We should be in an era now with this music for talent that crowds sing along. Ever since Jericho, and I will give a quick kudos to Kenny Omega because he said that in 2018 or 2019 in an interview with Alicia. No, I'm sorry, I get my years are jacked up. It wasn't that. It was before AEW got formed. The interview he did with Alicia too, they were discussing Chris Jericho, and he said Chris Jericho's music. I can already imagine the people screaming this song when this comes on, and he was right on the money. They never did that for Cody. They only did that for Jericho in the other company. It wasn't until, of course, Cody comes over, the song takes off. Seth's song then takes off. Randy's song now takes off. They weren't really doing all that stuff like that. Let's keep it real. I feel as well they fucked up too with the DIY song. I just thought, I like the beginning, the opening, the we are. I just think it would have been cool instead of the band singing DIY, it should have just had a drum, bass, or kick that just when you see the words DIY, you just hear bap, bap, bap. After a while, you can get the crowd to go DIY. I, why? So, we it should be in a time now where the music is going to so much amp the crowd. They should be singing, oh, all these songs should, well, not sing every single one of them, but a lot of these songs should have these hooks that the crowd can sing along to. And that one right there with the MCMG, that was a big faux pas, huge faux pas. So I wanted to get that off my chest. I'm also excited that you guys have given um, the Metaphor Girls a chance. Um, I think this is awesome for them to go. Is it Riyadh? I don't want to get the pronunciation to be in that. I mean, look, anyone with eyes could see that that was coming. I mean, as far as like it wasn't going to be just a normal tag match. It was just too many people vying for the space. Um, I would think it would be cool, would be very much surprised if they won the titles. If even if you did something where they, you did like an Ethan Page type thing with NXT where, he falls on what's her face and they win something where it happens by accident or someone's caught slipping, you know, Bianca and Jade, maybe they don't get pinned. Um, and Lash gets the pin on like Kyrie or something like that. Or maybe on Chelsea. It would just be something cool, and for them to go back with those 10. They don't have to keep it forever, but it just seems that you do trust them. And I did hear something about a draft that may be coming up. I always get those dates mixed up. So it seems if like this little test run is cool. It kind of reminds me when they had um, Toxic Attraction and the whole thing with Gigi and JC. I don't know if it was Gigi's injuries that prevented them from moving up. I don't know. I don't know if that test run was just a test run. But it's cool to see, if these girls do go up. Upon watching this Impact uh, event and seeing what happened with Rosemary and Wendy, I don't know what they're gonna do. I Side note wanted to see. It's just in my imagination. I thought it would have been cool to see Havoc return for Halloween Havoc, but with them being on the PLE, I don't. I'm not expecting them to be on Halloween Havoc card. Um, it just makes me curious with the way that that match ended between Wendy and Rosemary, and then seeing because technically on NXT, I thought that um, when Wendy grabbed Tatum and put her in the box, I thought that they were taking her over to Impact. That was just in my mind. I was like, oh, they must be kidnapping her and taking her over to Impact, and she's going to join those women. But I don't know. There's another side of me after watching the match that I just meant. Well, the way that Rosemary and Wendy ended with, in this match, it makes me curious it makes me curious in my thinking that I wonder if Wendy's going to move up and if they bagged up Tatum because Tatum's going to move up. Um, Tatum's definitely ready. She's like, where the fuck does she get these moves from? Sometimes I'm watching, it's like, where'd you get this from? Where'd you get that from? Um, Wendy, Karen Q, whatever you want to name her, spent a lot of time down there, man. A lot of time. I know she went through injuries with the knee. Um, kind of like I don't know if it was like a Tegan Knox type situation, but I mean, she's more than putting her time. I'm always watching, like, yo, what the hell are you gonna do with this girl? It's either shit or get off the pot. I had mentioned one post before, man. I really, when she was faced Wendy Chu, I really wanted her to enter into the Royal Rumble with that gimmick because I wanted to see the reaction. And I just always saw her eliminating Charlotte Flair just on some funny shit. But, you know, that's me. Uh, I don't know. You know, it'd be cool. You know, I'm hoping that they also have that Eye on Rosemary, but I don't even know when her contract's up. I'm pretty sure that Jordan Grace is rolling over. I don't know what they're going to do with this title match, as it hasn't happened yet. As I'm recording this, even if she does win, and I said this before, but over the summer, I believe it was. I'm not sure if Impact is set up. They don't have enough pieces for like your next champion to be as strong. They didn't really even do Jordan justice, but that's a conversation. I think I might have already spoken this before, you know, for another time. Continuing the conversation in NXT, don't worry, I'm going to get to the Sam stuff. Just everybody relax if you're still listening. Hopefully you are. Regarding NXT, um, NXT, they surprised me. They're still going on with the um, Adonis and um, Carmen storyline. I thought they would have dumped it. I just thought it was something they would start and just make go away. She, you know, yeah, she definitely has a crush on him. Like I had mentioned before, I saw that look. It is what it is. The only thing I didn't. This goes back to what I'm about to say. This goes back to the conversation that I mentioned with Conan. That Conan had broken this whole thing down. Last week's NXT, the three women are training. Is Brinley Reese, is Sol Ruka, and is Carmen Petrovic, right? They're spotting, you know, for those that saw it, they're spotting Brinley. Shante comes over, tries to follow up. So now Sol says to her, looks like something's going on there. You know, you can clearly see. She goes, and then Carmen's response is like rude. She's like, oh, so you think you know me? Yeah. Now we're going to have a match. How about oh, before I even say that, so let me go back to the Conan thing that I talked about before. Conan was speaking on how bad it was in the Cena era. I just call it the ruthless aggression era. He was like, you know, how things have changed. He said, look, back in the day it was two guys in the locker room. One guy walks in, goes, who ate my sandwich? Cut two, guy eating sandwich. Yo, you, me, in a match tonight. And that's exactly what that felt like. It's like she just says, "Hey, there's chemistry. Oh, now you know me better than I know myself. Okay, now we're gonna have a match." Huh? How about if she just denied it? They have a tag match against whoever. You know, you could have had like Danny Gray and the other girl have a tag match with them, and the same thing that happened what 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago with Carmen and Adonis happens again, which basically kind of happened, but why does she have to fight what seemed like her friend? That didn't make any sense. And all she's saying is, you know, she's complimenting you. She's not, oh, I could see even if she said, oh, he sucks, stay away from him, and then she gets mad and then they have a match. But all she said looks like you guys are into one another. Now we're gonna go in the fucking ring and fight. So anyhow, yeah, it's cool that they are continuing it, and we shall see as this goes on. And if anyone over here is listening, please, over there is listening, please tell Adonis to stop with this fucking Adonis League. It was cute. The first time was funny. It's too much. Just let it go now, kid. I don't see anybody in Las Vegas running around going Adonis League. Yo, did you get your Dynasty t-shirt? Yo, I got mine, son. Ooh, mine's yellow. Cut it out. Now, on to badass Billy Gunn. I'm joking, I always wanted to say that. Okay, on to Samantha Irvin. Now, Samantha Johnson. I'm sure listening to the sound of my voice, you're probably aware that she left. Now, I'm going to add up some dots and then you guys tell me what you think about this. Okay, from what I researched, they say that very few, like no one knew, and that she just announced it on Monday and it was a surprise to everyone, yada, 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 right? I'm watching Raw. I see Lillian Garcia and I said to myself, oh, she's out sick. I'm like, hmm. Then I said, well, maybe, she went and got married to Ricochet, right? It's just a thought. People can get sick, things can happen, whatever, whatever, right? And then I got curious and then it popped up. I think it was Denise Salcedo. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. She was the first that I saw that reported it before I hit Google News. And then I just started putting the points together. If it wasn't her, I think I might have seen something else, but it was mentioned that she, of course, wants to sing. Kudos, right? I started putting the dots together, and she had mentioned that she had been thinking about this for a year, right? About a week or two, I'm listening to a clip from Jericho's podcast, and he's interviewing Ricochet. And Ricochet mentioned that he thought about leaving. He was serious about leaving when he had the IC title. And I do not recall when that was. I really wasn't paying a lot of attention to Ricochet because I didn't like how he was treated when he got moved up. So, I can't recall when he had the title, but he said that he went to Bruce Pritchard and was having a conversation. If it wasn't Bruce Pritchard, it was Johnny Ace, I think it was, Laurinaitis. And he said, I'm thinking about just bouncing and going back on the indies. Right. So this had been in his mind for a while, right? He said he knew that he'd make less money and but he was fine. He just was considering just splitting, right? Long story short, he ends up staying, right? So that was in my mind when I'm reading this article because I'm sitting here like, all right, so they're in a relationship, so we got to understand that they're talking about this whole thing, you know. Um, my first thing was please just don't leave WWE and then go to over to AEW because that's going to be a bust. What they're going to sign her for Justin Roberts, replace Justin Roberts. They already got rid of Dasha, who I thought they should have kept. Um, it, you know, Alicia Toot, who's dating MJF, I've still yet to have seen her on that damn AEW, even by fluke. So I was just like, hey man, just please don't go over there right now. So according to Ricochet, he said that she's not bouncing to go over there. But let me finish adding up these dots. So I just said that these two were talking. This had been my theory is this. Follow me with this. She said for a year, WWE knew this. Okay. This is reminding me of when Charlie bounced too. I recall that she had stated something to that effect that they kind of knew. At that point, I actually thought that she had gotten fired and then that they were going to just make it seem like, she resigned, but she gave her testimony as to what happened. I believe that some of the stuff we're hearing is, you know, a little bit of BS. WWE knew a while ago. Case in point. I noticed that Michael Cole was not on SmackDown the previous Friday. So that's another person That's not there. Sam's not there on Monday. Michael Cole was not there on Friday. Lillian Garcia pops up on Monday. Michael Cole said on SmackDown this weekend, this Friday SmackDown, I was on special assignment. Could that special assignment have been him training Lillian Garcia again, getting her reacquainted with the catchphrases and the this and the that and the different talent that we have, because maybe she's not watching as much, right? Number two, if you guys remember, over the summer, Lillian Garcia did a pop-up, remember? And she got into the ring with Samantha and she announced that right there. That's the trailer of them letting you know, oh, hey guys, remember Lillian Garcia? Hey, she's just stopped by. Hey, we're gonna have her announce. That's them dipping their toe in the water to get you, reacquainted with her. Some of you are already, now that I mentioned this, you're already jumping now, going, oh yeah, what about exactly? The next time we see Lillian, wasn't it at the last PLE? She's sitting there with Booker T, DDP, am I correct? They're getting you acquainted again. They knew that she was going to bounce, right? And they're looking for a replacement. And I don't know how Lillian fell into it, whatever, but they knew, okay, and they knew she was on the fence. And to put the nail in the coffin of my theory is, check it. Remember how Rick left? He left in the ambulance after Braun Breaker attack. Rick said in Jericho, they did that just to set up, based on my decision, if I was going to stay, we would have something to continue on with. But do you remember what happened? Can I go with him? You guys remember that? And then she got in the ambulance and she took off. They already knew. They were already shooting shit for the future in case Sam was going to leave too with him. You know what I mean? You could cut, if she knew her contract was up, she could have just decided to bounce the same time. Hey, I want to leave now. He's leaving. I'm going to leave. Well, Rick left in like, was July or August or something like that. But hey, why don't we shoot it this way so that when they return 2026, after he's fed up with the bullshit that's happened over AEW, like, I want to come back. Or 2027, or however it goes, time flies. Braun Breaker now beats Cody. We're in 2027 now, folks, okay? Beats whoever has the title. He has the world heavyweight. He's the world heavyweight champion. Boom, we cut back to 2024. Ricochet, Braun Breaker, boom, boom, boom. Ambulance, Samantha. Can I go with him? Hops in there, drives off with him. Now they're both back. Goes with the storyline. They were playing it all out in front of our face, and we had no idea. So all those points to me add up. I'm like, oh, that's why Lillian. That's why all the dots add up. So I'm sure probably was her choice not to tell anyone, if that's the truth, because she probably didn't want to go out, respect my privacy, whatever. However you want to tell people, if you don't, whatever. But I do believe that WWE had already known. She had probably already given them a date. And they offered them some cleanup time for them to shoot that ambulance vignette, the incident, and time that perfectly. So I'm very curious to know what you think. Holla at me. With that, before I even close it out, I wish her the very best. I hope that she really does do a fucking bomb ass album. I really do. I hope it's an album or something, even if it's just a hot fucking single. Just even if it's a hot single and we never had anything again. She's a one-hit wonder, because one-hit wonders make a shitload of money. Don't get it twisted. They make a shitload of money. even if she's a one-hit wonder with a banging ass track. I just don't want her to just, I hate to say it, due to Lillian Garcia, disappear. And then it's like, well, I put out a Christmas album. And it's like, we don't even hear about it. We don't know about it, whatever, whatever, whatever. And then now, due to monetary issues, she's forced to go to All Elite Wrestling. Hence, she's forced. Oh, what's wrong with me? Anyhow, I wish her the very best, man. And she's a goddamn good actress, man. Her improv skills are just crazy. Her stuff that she put on IG when she was doing those little characters was really good. So I mean, I could see her on television. Damn, it's just, you know what, man? It could have been a bomb ass sitcom. You take Samantha Irvin, you take Jessica McKay of the Iconics, and you take Chelsea Green, and you put those three in a sitcom. You got a fucking hit right there. Enough said. I wish her the very best. Um, and as far as I'm concerned, whenever they want to come back, I'm cool with it. And I say they for both of them. Hopefully, Ricochet comes back. If he does come back, he'll be seen as, in a much higher regard. So, with that said, let me know what you think. Thank you for listening, and I am out of here.